honum. Na headquarters nankasa prison runabout. Dankese a Oyerepa TV Oyerepa FM Promise TV and Promise FM woman okwa mpenfo ho mbetimi ne wadi djuma na obetimi afrem mpenfo so 0322030838 0322030838 na afi 0536095966 0536095966 channel so na bosha by electric as hona nkania ne ho ne mapapa ni nyina obenya every godfrey name enemy di yemfa ensem na nkasa emma si e hye ensem na se de ne ye hye ase afre emra hwe bi afie eno adabra owura hebet krampa Ghana mampani aboni din se yaji ni tuma o meye oswafo wo energy ministry no okopi mu omrahye bedwafie no yade a edenkuma no esori fi wa ma ntoto opani ya no enu mu ena owura amma kofi boa ede betu dwa se senti a osori fi ho no nyina opani ede maye
chronicle ani ni se Ministry of Interior ejina Ghana ban na mu ebe fankrofo pim dukunu 11,000 akọ security services mo che say pim dubako na wona wa boa mi 11,000 no pim dubako na breakdown ni o say recruitment no 4,000 ebeko 4,000 ebeko Ghana Police Service 3,000 ebeko immigration 2,000 ebeko Ghana Fire Service 1,500 ebeko prisons and na NACOP 500 ebeko na ni okaka ho a ha adwe wo mu ni se o si sa nkrofo 11,000 no ya advertise ye be no nkukom omo ho dada edi wo ho dada nti ye fro bia ye mfa de no ye ntu di dwa obi antumi nkwa apply online ye mfa process na ye dey fast for growth for adwuma mu no na we ena ya dia ha dwi wo hwemra ye wo mu aka less than 6 months ya to aba na aba we yenim ni record ni o year 2020 e be to aba your planning so do MPP tax be ko police mu na wo hwe na nsen ya information ye nya e so Obama parliamentary candidate be 30 slots na wo hwe asema ya kaka ho a eche se ye made no enya advert bia no ha dwie na ye kanso ni se no kure ni mkura se backlog bi wo ana se list bi wo a omo apply dada because there the evidence aba police service a press conference ama Ghana for nyina to say backlog bia 2021 2022 ye yini nyina fi ho press leaves na mikitei ye new aba Grace and Sakrofi assistant commissioner of police na ye inti backlog here minister of interior e kan was am efi infa no kwebia ni ya ye kan say minister of interior intentem na so be ye recruitment into the Ghana police service here on famra kwan so na on mie kwan ma Ghana fo nyina obia
opani abedi echi a owo edonkuma na afa e wo mrahye bedwafie na echeche mo fa recruitment a omususu se dom kese ne pese onam kontranse eye yeda so agira mrahye bedwafie ho a owura Hebet Krampa ene o magina tum se o meye energy minister opani kasa echi mu se Electricity Company Limited of Ghana ECG for hawa hodo onemu edu ba bia na mankanya ho nsem nyina ayi bibia ho memu no eye adwuma wo ye no eni sika hodo esenka onya free mu abe ode nkane ama nipaku ne dwumaku hodo ewo man Ghana mu a wontimi enye no ena akwakofa sa ha oni nyina aba nanso ade empemfo de nhihye agwa kwan mu a ompese omisi sa ade ni nyina ano
I think ECG's issues mainly go to its inability to collect the power that it sells. That is at the heart of the matter. Commercial losses are standing at about 17.71%. Transmission losses, technical losses, about nearly 10%. So before we could start, close to 30% of the power that we sell is gone down the drain. We have to find a way to support ECG to be able to collect the revenue, the revenue from the power that it sells, the electricity that it sells. I think ECG itself, I have to also say, being on the board, ECG itself internally has done significant work to support that agenda. The digital agenda that it is rolled out in terms of digital collection of the electricity that the power it sells has almost doubled the revenue collection. And then on the technical side, ECG is already rolling out 3 major programs. First, what they're calling a loss reduction program, using private vendors to manufacture and install meters, which is a major challenge. And then also we are tagging all our assets, what we are calling customers and assets information management systems. So we know all our assets, we know all our customers, and it helps in driving revenue. And then very importantly is the boundary metering project for electricity accountability. So we are right from the feeders, we are metering the regions and the districts. So as a regional manager, all the electricity that comes to you, we require you to account for it because we're able to track it, and as a district manager as well. So I believe those programs is helping ECG to start the work of coming out of the woods. What I think is that we have to break into 2 the operations of ECG. The bulk supply point operations, sub-transmission, 33 kV, 11 kV, distribution transformers. All of that, I believe, should continue to be the mainstay of ECG.
Emrashe bedwani ma adehia owo ningo pram eyura Samuel T George opani abogana mampani dada John Dramani Mahama Abasopa se na nisu adehunu so de 1 million coders program beba se beye beboa ma omagana adehia nya akonya ewo ICT dwumadiem na ama sika so abon botom no ochiremu ana ade beboa pa efise wo hwe ono kra ne ba ene ne nua ba enya sa dwumadie bi ho emfaso ewo amonone.
But I'm excited about the future that God willing in 2025 with President Mahama as president and the 1 million coders program, this girls in ICT program is going to go a step higher to provide for more girls, because I mean there's a limit to the resources that are available today, and then once you have that kind of program being rolled out, it then makes it easy for you to have them trained, and then you then link that up to the ICT centers of excellence that President Mahama is looking for us to also build, that will then be a center where you then have an off-taker for the skills. Because it's one thing as creating the skill, there's another thing, creating an opportunity for the girls to be able to use the skill. And so that's why, for me, I like the integrated plan that President Mahama has. You know, his big push agenda has $3 billion US, which is for ICT development. And so you've got the 1 million coders program as one block of it, which is building the human resource and capacity, where we can have the girls in ICT as a sub-model of it, expanded and reaching out to more girls across the country. Then you've got the ICT Park, which is going to be a center of excellence in artificial learning, artificial intelligence, machine learning, large language model learning, cybersecurity, data protection. And then as that is running as well, you then have the digital jobs initiative that we spoke about last Sunday, where 300,000 jobs in conjunction with private tech startups will be created for young people. Now, this tech jobs need skilled labor, and so that's where all of this fits into. You realize that it's an integrated solution to making sure that we don't have these young kids, these young girls go through school finish and then join the Association of Unemployed Graduates. We've got employable skill. We've created opportunity for private sector to plug in, and then that's an opportunity for them to work. So I just, the future for the young people of Ghana looks very great. Now, you should look at your child. I'm not going to say every girl is going to be able to do ICT. It's the same way not every guy is able to do ICT. But you should be able to allow your kids to explore. When you see that your daughter or your son has a certain passion, a certain love for equipment, gadgets, very inquisitive, has a very analytic mind, is very good in the mathematics, additional mathematics, physics, and chemistry. I think that you should let them explore. I know that everybody wants their daughter to be a nurse, a pharmacist, a doctor, or something of that nature, or a lawyer, and those are very noble professions as well. But being an engineer and being an ICT engineer, a telecoms engineer, or an ICT person is an in-demand skill. With where the world is going to, you're going to begin to see a lot more digital job opportunities than your non-digital job opportunities. So you're beginning to have surgeries where robots are able to conduct the surgeries, and eventually you're going to have less and less human surgeons because of the margin of error when it comes to the machines.
Ora Steven Atubiga Yakofa Bayama National Liberation Congress Amanyekuno. Openi edi abetu just don't for ya adumna utimi ko dinkunimu abatu yabekoso wo maimu a. Ade asoya hodi wo maimu nyina sikede mom no. Obetwetwa ni nyina yem na aka homasuane bambo de ne nkwa afise. Eno ebebo ama sa asoya hodi ni nyina aye adwumadena po wan kesa ho sika no de abon ho bra ne no na be mo man Ghana nso enye ho so emfaso.
Budgetary allocation to certain ministry, except the security, that's the military and the police and what have you, and the education. Every minister will discover the commercial section at every ministry to run in partnership with the citizens. In that, it means, as a young man, we start with the health. The health ministry, we already have the national health insurance. After we put all those structures in establishing the bank in place, it means every person in a rural area that have the capacity, whether you are a doctor, you are a nurse, or you want to establish a small clinic, you do your feasibility studies. There's a special bank will be established to fund rural banks for individuals under which will be absorbed by the national health insurance. And once that is put in place, the advantage to government is that it will take the burden of government building hospitals in certain rural areas that it doesn't have the resources. And then remember, to run a country and be successful, you have to run it alongside the citizens. So the government will make taxes from these private-owned hospitals. The backlog of nurses waiting to be transferred will be a thing of the past. It will create employment. And we should not also forget that most countries, they have banks that fund the health sector. And when we talk about health sector, it's not necessarily hospitals. I'm talking about logistics. They fund, if you have a contract, they fund. And the advantage of the NLC vision, if you have a contract, you don't have to go for government paying you, or if government doesn't have the resources. You can comfort, Minister of Finance will give the letter of credit, the banks will fund the project, and by so doing, because Minister of Finance give you the letter of credit, it will make sure that you are paid as a contractor because they know the source of the money coming in. That is how Pakwesindom Bank and other banks collapsed, because most of the money went to the contractors that government wasn't able to pay them on time, and they found themselves in that position.
Alhaji Abdullah Ali Barry nkosoro hene wo Zongo communities wa Santimantemu opani de ato awofo nyina anim se ne ya oma etwe BC sohwe no wonhwe se obeboabo ho na watoto ne ma hodu a wohia no efi se free senior high school aban de abade na so no nche se osi ejani nyina egu aban no so odi nsemu nyina tudwa wa bra otu anamo ede master hodu e koma amofre ya otwere nsohwe ne bi Omanga na mofra hodo a wo junior high schools ewo memu no gusu atwe BC sohwe afidie no aka hu bi ama Alhaji Abdullahi Bari a oye zongo nkoso hene wa Asantemantamu etu na mo de maseta hodo na akoma mofrei na no mu ena opanin kase mu ode adesori etu awofo anim se ene ye oma atwere BC no onfa nhwe wontirim se enche bia na oba be konto aso suku ewum se aban ede free senior high school education abade nanso awofo mo abo se be ye niam ahodo a emofra no behia aka ne aban de be mo ho no obetimi ato opani to aso ede afutuo ma amofra no se onkonkoden no nyiro ho nsua de na ensohwe na awo twe no onka hu se eno ena ye won daachi enti wayiro ho atwere adi nkunim se be ya obenya akonya nwokwakotoa won ho masua so na daachi bi no aka hu bi amoma ba be ye oman bapa
unse saado ene mehwe no unse nkla bi onuma omukọ esade na ebi awofo no omuni ade bi onuma beto bi ere ama omo ntu yeso ye pese education ere enko anim na medwene ya se emmo bi onuma metima bo omo a samwa na mehwe na ide me de bo omo masende edoso nye school ba ko na check school bebre na ide egusu ere eche edoso bibi onuma aban se wafa ho ka se awofo so hwe se de no mombo aban na aban de enhwe enkola no ja awofo na sro mo se mo hwe enkwa no ko ba bia de kakra bi on mo a omomfa de emmo omo no musim nkosua de youth ni de bia ye sro mo a mo se sia youth de sia no abato eba election ba nti ye sro mo a omoma omo education ya ma de ehi omo mo ma obi embedada omo ni skabisi koisi nti no ye bompa ise abato we de ebe ni boko omo so de kan bia omaso ye de eti
nana amoapem brenya odikan ye barekese hene nana nso ade afutu ema amofra hodo na se watwere de edika watwere ne etoso ekopem dadwada ensohwen de twato no kra obetimi atwere no wonhwe ne wontwi won ho free basabasa ye ne suboni a enam so bema ebetimi akwakotwa won sohwem na won bre nyina akwakoye kwane emum no ontwere ne wonim se beya obetimi adi nkunim
onhia so de be be hye wo ho menem ne se me yonko bi yes omo friends me koboki o se ade na hye ho kra na ayam hye afide wasua nyina so na orafi enti adesua no o se wo hwe ne poso na o ti ade na se yedi se ebeboa wo enya de papa obi enyi na adwen free sa ne omo na so obewie no na wasua nyina na orafi na o konsumpo na nkoto e eno so be ne de enti enya de papa
Adrobafo ne adehye wo esikumo dobe brakwa abato mpehwe su won fifi mantamo ene ne wani abra a wo twemi se afu abato nya de obetie amanyoni bia efeso ma hye omo ba obepiem ho asabe omo kwan kra no enya de ye enam so ama how dodo na ena wonemu a wo twese wani abrepa
ye kwansem no ye drivers no ye esikumo dobe brakwa district ne de men tumi ho kwan biela ebotum yes ye de yes ye kokko yakase de me kwan ye se jamra de ye se bu adum na de ana ekwan ni na sei ekwan ahụ na esese asambre no at least wo mo boa ma nioma bi wo ho no ma ma drivers nso wo ho ha kakra sanse yande ye drivers me kare ye drivers ye ze drivers ekwan no ya asambre no kwan aban na odo hwe kwan no ye nti na asambre no wa ha nti ye mantem nioma ya ha ye no ye dan asambre tim kura wo gina wo hu no ahụ nipa nkurasefo baanu bi a wo kwan won na wodo wo ti sua nete it is mebla waka no no kwale si ana uko uniba wudu krom ho ma would have na say wutwa we sketch ticket ya wo ya na say we be sketch ticket na say be finish ya kwana ya na ticket twa so be na ya fi si ya fi akofosu kwana si ntim nko so to ntim kofosu bleja wo ye wo no asidava dava road wa wie boko na kwana ye na se obi mo ye na wasa so waji uska na fa so be na eba so do akofosu isi e woda ma ye nti isi medwo ho ya kwa nsema ye kura da de kwa me hampa e police fo no kan station loadu e se 11 mate ne ka ho a o ye 12 no match here say ya fa over so ade dey mate one table to gbe gate ni man and then ye twa so take the mate be ji so kwan so aman ti be me help and ye kwan so den ye kwan so ye ite ye fia ma boko kodu so eduro no a principal 5 original kwan so ba ye fia ko fosu a principal 1 pe original kwan so fosu baria and so that am pa it so eduro is smart to so do kwan so principal ja kwan so be be ye botua esma ye botua odobe ye botua nyakro ye so eduro ne eyetu baria ba ko na greenland hotel won so ba ko je homo and e hawo yen na semane
ensem ni nyina sie ko ama O.B.T dwumadie na ba beto so na nsa na seda so nkokran commerce of penny oda Praise Baptist Church Atosu S-Line news site any asoy man asoy penny phone nyina Godfrey the name eni me din yakramo